Hello, it's Ileana and welcome back. Thanks for tuning in again to watch another process video, this time about my son Lorenz when he was just a few months old. I've been working through the Pink Fresh collection of Up in the Clouds, and I'm going to use Star Sprinkles as my background piece. I found this slightly challenging. I quite like all the shards and the kind of zooms of colour across the page. I just found it a little bit of a job to work around a layout, but I have decided to go a little bit mixed media and factor in a bit of chalk mist and some texture paste that my mum made, and you'll see how I work all that around to make what I think is quite a pleasing end result. So I've just dabbed that through one of my Heidi Swap stencils to create a little bit of a triangular mobile, if you like. I was quite keen to get some more yellow across the page, and just kind of trying to line up the photograph, because I know I'm going to use a strip of photographs along the bottom, and I just want to see what's going to emerge from the edges as to how I place those. Just using a sponge ink dauber to put that across. This swirls border is one of the first ever masks that I bought. Must have been in a sale. Haven't really used it all that much, but I thought I'd quite go for the slightly whimsical, cloudy look across the top there, and I've used it in a couple of other places as well. And this chalky kind of texture paste is lovely to work with. I'm so glad my mum gave me that. That was from our crafty weekend a little while back, and so I'm just slapping that on in a few places, which won't really show with any great prominence, but it's just something to give it a pop of texture around the clusters of photos. It's quite a new spritzing ink to me, this one. It's by Do Crafts Artiste, is their brand of that, and it's a mint colour, so I just dry that off as well as the texture paste, and so that's the colour I want it to be. Of course, I cut the picture as a square to more really for the point of cutting the clutter out of the edges of the photograph, and to focus it all in on Lorenz there in his cot. He just discovered his feet and that they could twist out and stick through the edges of his cot, and it was really cute to come and find him after a nap like that, so I figured I could do a layout about that this many years on. This vellum, now I've had the green for ever such a long time, and I kind of tucked that in to see what colour it would look like. That was a upcycled bit of newspaper vellum, something that was in an advert, so I've used that quite a lot. My mum gave me that, and also this feathers paper, of course, by Pink Fresh. And in the collection I actually got two of every paper because they're backed with a different design, which means I felt quite good about being able to cut that and not guilty that I was going to waste the whole of the feathers. I really love that paper. I'm sure I'm going to use that as a major piece in a future layout. So this one was done quite near the start of June. I know I'm having a massive hard drive clear out, so you'll be seeing quite a lot of layouts coming forth onto YouTube in the near future. By the way, I'm just backing those onto foam squares, double foam squares, as you can see. Really wanted to go crazy with the texture on this one, make it quite relief and lofty, if you like. Snaggy old ATG. Anyway, so as I was saying, I did this one kind of nearer the beginning of June. It's a bit more of a recent layout. I've done about 3 of the Pink Fresh collection so far, and they'll be rolling out in due course. But this is all part of the Fun Kits monthly scrapbook challenges run by the wonderful Gembox on Facebook. So we're going through the Pink Fresh collection this month. This is June, and we'll kind of probably spill that over to July as well, as tends to happen with the collection that we're working on one month. You get the next month to kind of catch up with it as well, which is great, because I've got tons of stuff, even from the old Amy Tan collection we were working with, Rise and Shine. I've still got so much of that left. So those are the 2 collections I'm going to be working on in the near future to try and get through some of the stash. Now, skipping back to the layout, this house and the circle, there's a lot of stuff that came out of the ephemera pack. Oh, and the card that says fun as well. That was a different pack of cards from the Pink Fresh studio. So I'm incorporating quite a lot of that onto this layout, as well as stash items. And these rub-on transfers were really rather lovely as well. I've decided to go with the clouds in quite a graphic designy, geometric is the word I'm looking for, geometric design, which I quite like. I think that's been quite fashionable of late. I've seen a bit of that in the scrapbooking world with diamonds and things. Now these stars, I thought I would incorporate those. Again, I mentioned before, the triangles, the yellow triangles look a bit mobile-y, and I was thinking I might use those stars on the rubber stamp there that I got as a freebie on Craft Stamper, but I didn't. Instead I've used Teresa Collins's vellum stars from something I got out of a Quirky Kit box a couple back. And as you can see, I'm just starting to commit those layers down. And whereas I've used the feathers, you can hardly see it emerging out the edges of the photograph, I've reversed the feathers paper and made the kind of more colourful colours pop around the outside of that card, which will incorporate my journaling shortly. And just slipping that circle on the corner there. And I'm going to be layering that vellum piece onto some white card. I just thought it was a little bit too see-through when I came to laying that down there. I quite liked the idea of showing some of the background through, but I just thought that the cloud got lost a little bit in doing so. So I've decided to layer that onto white and just ruffle up the edges to make a kind of banner. And I like how that looks. 3 in a row of differing widths. Now there's a few more ephemera pieces I just pulled out, as well as that wooden cloud that I have in my stash, and I was trying to work out, placement for some of the banners and circles, and in the end I've gone with that kind of bluey green ticket shaped piece, onto which I'll be writing Lorenz, and then with some Adorn It stickers, June, and then I just write 09 in my handwriting. So that's the Adorn It stickers going down to spell Jun, and so that's obviously the who and the when. And I found this little ticket piece. It says head into clouds, so I thought I'd pop that down there, rimmed in pink, because I like using pink on boys' layouts. It's almost become a little bit of an obsession, just to make sure I incorporate a little bit of it to buck the trend with blue is for boys, even though he's wearing blue. And actually his little suit there has got clouds all over it, which is really cute. Actually, that makes me think he's woken up in the morning looking like that rather than a nap. I wouldn't have put him down wearing that, I don't think. Anyway, it's all history. He's 6.5 now, folks. So this is me really casting my mind back. But the photo tells most of that story, so that's okay. Now I found a few Studio Calico wood veneer stars, so they're going down. They seem to be quite fitting of the cloudy sky theme. And they add a bit more texture and interest around the page as well. So now this ticket at the top which says head into clouds, same thing as the pink flash down at the bottom, the arrow kind of thing. Anyway, repetition is always great on a scrapbook page, I think. So this head into clouds ticket piece, I decided to slice as though it actually is kind of just seeping through the clouds. And the heart, you'll see what I do with that is that I find a piece of gold wrapping paper, I think it is, just floating around, and I'm going to back that heart with some gold just to give it a bit of sparkle up top there. I mean, actually there's quite a lot of gold rimmed around the edges of the collection there, so fun is metallic gold, as well as everything. Everything's got gold foil all over it, so that's great with me. I like a bit of gold. There's a swirly-whirly kind of paper clip up there. This is my nod to Mum, because she gave me that, and I thought it looked really nice up there. So it's kind of a green, I don't know if she made that herself. She does do a little bit of metal work and jewellery making, so it might possibly be a complete original, or she's pummeled it and made it really flat. Either way, I love it, and I'm really glad to get used to that. And that strip of pink up the top there, you might have noticed earlier I just sliced off the bit that's backing the fun card, and I decided to just get that scrap straight away back onto my layout up top there as part of the kind of a central cluster up top. I just thought it fit there quite well because of the way that blue beam is kind of sharding down the page. And washi, just to kind of give a bit more interest. And it's quite a new washi tape, so I wanted to play with it. I think I've gone with a couple of washis actually. There's one that's got green kind of little pluses all over it. Yeah, so this right now, the stars are from an old Quirky box, and I've just gone with a couple of green ones. But I'm also going to use a couple of see-through, one of them's down on the bottom left, underneath the pinky kind of arrow, and that is a curtain rail hook thing, I think. And they're swirly and lovely and shiny and see-through, and I don't think they look like curtain track runners, but they came from Mum in a little an embellishment box of challenges, so I've decided to use those here, and I really love the way they look. And my journaling, which just says, at just 5 months old, after waking up from a nap, you found a new, fun game to play with your legs. Well, I just had to snap your cuteness. Smile. And as you can see, I'm just working in a few of the sequins I've had for a little while that came from my wonderful Quirky box some while back. And that about completes the layout. So thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again soon in the near future. Bye for now.